That's fine. Just as long as one out of every 12, one out of every, so out of every 100 people, 13 people don't get paid. I mean, everybody understands, when you say not fully funded, that means somebody doesn't get their money. Are you okay that everybody only gets 87% of their pension? That's one thing we could do. Are you okay that 13 out of every 100 people don't get paid? I mean, when it's underfunded, it's underfunded.
So, and then the other part of that, as you mentioned, the healthcare costs, you mentioned that more and more people, and I know here in Cleveland, it's the same case, we're having to pick up more of our healthcare costs. However, I think it's the jump from, on average, $2,100 to $9,200. People consider that to be so stark. Did you consider at all trying to phase that in as opposed to just doing 1 year in such an increase?
Well, what I believe is I want to go, everything I've tried to do in my life, let's go to reality as fast as we can. Let's go to something that we know is sustainable as fast as we can. And here's the other thing about my experience. When an individual has more involvement in their health care, look, if we wanted to fix health care, I ran an organization, I started one that said, if you want to fix health care in America, here's what you do. Create more competition, let the individual pick exactly what they're going to be covered, because they know what their issues are. Give the same tax breaks to an individual as you do to an employer, so they start buying their own policy. So just like your life insurance, if you buy it at 25, it doesn't matter if you get cancer at 40, you've got your policy. So pre-existing conditions become irrelevant. And finally, give people a reward for taking care of themselves, for eating right, for not smoking, for exercising. As people, you can see it in companies, as people get more involved in their healthcare costs, you know what? They lose weight. They quit smoking. They eat better. They say, you know what? Do I need to go to the doctor all the time? I mean, when I grew up, my parents didn't have any money. I think I went to the doctor once before I was 16, once. And somehow I survived. Today, I joke one of the individuals that works with me that he got sick on the campaign, and I joked to him, I said, you probably went to the doctor too much, you had too many antibiotics. So, doesn't know that's true or not, but I'm sure now every doctor's going to call and complain that I said that.
You had only started drug testing your staff, so...
Yeah, so we do drug test our staff.
You mentioned the state budget and some of the changes that are coming to it. You mentioned trying to get to reality as soon as possible. The question becomes, how much are you looking at just cuts immediately to conform with the Constitution, and how much do you consider down the line budget cuts? For example, possible investments. You mentioned prison. What about investments in, say, education and prison systems that maybe reduce recidivism rate and lower costs down term? How do you sort of balance those concepts?
Well, the way I do it is I say, okay, where do I think I'm going to get the biggest return? So that's how I think about it. So with regard to prisons as an example, there's a return by putting money into education. I was talking to one individual, he said for every year that we increase the reading level of an inmate, we reduce the recidivism by 5%. So should we be, so now let's measure it, let's make sure we're right. So let's just don't take somebody's word for it, but let's measure it. But if we're right, we ought to be putting money in there, because that's going to save us money long term. But if you look, here's my experience so far. The people talk about a lot of things we can do that's going to reduce the money down the road, but then I say, okay, great, let's do it. Oh, wait, let's slow down about that. Let's make sure, do I really believe that's going to work? It's the same with companies. When I ran my hospital company, everybody, we were spending about $3 billion a year building things. So the way I did it was I said, I love all your projects. Of course, I love the projects to get the best return, the best. And by the way, you've got to come back and explain to me on the last project I approved, did you get the return you said? Guess what? Everybody starts thinking about getting a return. What I want to do is have the same mentality in state government. Whatever we want to do, if we say we're going down a path, let's measure it and make sure. And if you come and explain to me we're going to get a return by spending money this way, it's going to have an impact. Okay, come back and explain it to me before you want the next project.
Rick Scott, Florida Governor, joins us this morning on the morning show. Governor, one more question before we take a little time out, and then we'll change gears a little bit. One of the things that I think has excited a lot of us is your focus on attracting business to Florida, trying to get the tax rates down, corporate taxes. Florida obviously already very competitive in that route, but I think what you're sort of offering is a kind of like making an offer that corporations just can't refuse type of offer.
They're going to come here.
Well, you showed up at Bing Energy. Is that kind of sort of a whetting of the appetite of what you think will happen? Because your plan on reducing corporate tax rates was crucial, in their words, to coming.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, look at it. We're competing with 49 states.
Right.
Right? And we're competing now with a variety of countries. Because now people are comfortable investing in countries and they weren't comfortable investing 20 years ago in Panama or Colombia or China or India. So we've got to say, capital can flow anywhere in the world at once. Right? And companies are built because of two things, people and capital. That's all it is. Right? And so we've got to say, we want to make this the place where people say, there is no place in the world I'd rather be. And we've got a lot of advantages. If you think about lifestyle, our weather, our beaches, our lakes, our river, just our whole environment, people want to live here. Now, California's nice like that too. However, people are moving out of California for this reason. Their taxes are ridiculously high. Mm-hmm. It takes too long to get permits to do anything. You can't build anything anymore. So what we've got to do is say we've got to put ourselves in a position that anybody's thinking about starting a business or expanding a business or moving a business, they say, I'm going to Florida because no income tax, a right to work state, on top of all the lifestyle, the weather, and all those things. But now we say we also don't have a business tax. Another reason to come here. On top of that, they have a governor and an attitude in government that is can-do. Now, we're going to take care of our environment. We want to take care of our environment. We want to make sure that this is still a safe place because it's a great. One thing people do care about our state is it's a safe place to live. So now, but how can we create an environment people say, this is the place where I'm going to do business? And part of it's going to be because I call people all the time, and we have a great economic development, and part of it just happens because people say, I'm going there because it's where I want to live, because I know they're going to take care of me. I know it doesn't take 2 years to get a permit when it should take 3 days. And now, I talked to governors in other states, and one place we're competing with is Texas. I know Governor Perry. I'm going to see him this weekend, and every time we talk, I say, look, I'm going to beat you. Whatever you do that makes it a better place for people to do business, I'm going to figure out how I can do it in Florida. And we always joke about it because if both of us do it, we change the country.
Joining us is Florida Governor Rick Scott in studio. More time with him next. It's 20 minutes after the hour. It's the morning show outside, 66 degrees.